Years of living, I've never heard the saying, grown man in little girls' faces. I have always heard the saying, look at that fast little girl, always up in grown man's faces. And I was thinking that if a young girl is in fact in a grown man's face, the grown man has the ability to walk away.
What's good, YouTube? This is KB LaFleur. You can call me KB. Welcome back to another video. We got something pretty good. We got this sister jumping on here, asking a very disingenuous question. Knowing this is a BS question, to be honest with you, really pushing a narrative here, saying that, you're always talking about little girls being in grown men's faces. Why won't we ever hold the men accountable for being in little girls' faces? Which is mighty cap, because the second somebody finds out that you are messing with someone who isn't of age, you will be held accountable. You see what people are trying to do with DJ Akademiks, and he wasn't even in the little boy's face. He wasn't trying to do anything sexual. He was not trying to do anything sexual of the nation, right? He was just talking, and you see what they are trying to do to him. And it's really because a lot of women just have a lot of hate for the guy. But for the most part, man, you see what they're trying to do to him. So when you have this sister sit here and ask this question, it's mighty crazy, right? It's mighty crazy, being that you have a lot of girls. You have a lot of girls who are in high school. That's what we're really talking about, who are 15, 14, 15, 16, 17. They tend to date your guys who are in their 20s and 30s. And you're like, yo, why are you dating this dude? And what do those little girls say? Their first response is, well, I don't want to date you immature boys. And what's sad is I seen a video of that. Somebody made a whole skit about that. And it's like the fact that a lot of us went through that. A lot of us boys got that exact same response, because I remember getting that same response. I was like, yo, that's crazy. But then you have somebody like Randy Rosario who comes out of nowhere and says, hey, well, y'all guys need to get over those women rejecting you because they wanted to deal with a guy, man, who is damn near in his 30s, messing with some chick that's still in school. Like, let's be real here.
When the nerd came up to the girl in high school, she was like, no, I don't want you. And then once she became a baby mama, he was a CEO executive and all that. And she like, hey, you remember me? He said, no, I don't want you. I be feeling like, respectfully, y'all is the grown-up versions of the niggas that got hurt in high school while we was out fucking with the drug dealers. Let me tell you something. We were victims then, making horrible-ass decisions with grown-ass niggas preying on us. Y'all gotta let that shit go.
What about the girls who had the older guys picking them up in high school?
Get the fuck over.
She really sat here and said that she was that they were victims as well. No, you were volunteers. You volunteered to do that. So if that is to her point, you volunteered to do that. So once again, little girls in grown man faces. But because you don't want to take accountability, just like Randy Rosario, you're going to try to push false narratives like this.
All my years of living, I've never heard the saying, grown man in little girls' faces. I have always heard the saying, look at that fast little girl, always up in grown man's faces. And I was thinking that if a young girl is in fact in a grown man's face, the grown man has the ability to walk away. The grown man has the ability to not engage. The grown man also has the ability to tell an adult that is responsible for the child so that the child can be sat down and we can have a conversation about what's going on. But instead, a lot of times the grown man will take the bait and bear absolutely no responsibility, because at the end of the day, the way that it's seen within the Black community is that this was a little girl in a grown man's face. It's not the grown man's fault. It's the child for putting the grown man in that position to be enticed into engaging with a child. And I just want to ask the question, why is it never the adult man's fault? It's always the child's fault. At some point, we have to be real with ourselves.
And it's just a bunch of rhetoric. And as I stated before, it's just a bunch of lies and narratives to be pushed just because, hey, let's push all this. Let's push all of our issues onto men. As I've stated before, we're mainly talking about little girls who are in high school, who volunteer, who go out their way to go deal with older guys. Now, once again, yeah, of course, I'm pretty sure that these guys are going out the way to holler at these girls. But these same girls know right from wrong. Just like how you said, hey, well, these men got the ability to walk away and yada, 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 use discernment. the same thing can be used for these same little fast girls we talking about. But because we don't like taking accountability, our women in our sisterhood and just women in general do not like taking accountability, they come up with these statements. They try to avoid ability at all costs. They try to push false narratives. Once again, we hold men accountable. We do know that you got guys who rape children or do something harmful to a child, they get chemically castrated. They go ahead and snip them in. That's punishment, people. That is punishment for pretty much doing what she's even talking about. Society will hold you accountable. As stated before, you see DJ Akademiks, he did not do anything wrong. He just on the internet, just yip-yapping once again, just talking. I mean, now, some of those, once again, you can't defend it. You can't defend all of it. What I can say with that situation is he is just talking. If something, should he have been saying some of the things that he was saying? No, because it's like, okay, you're talking about game talk, and then you're just being weird, right? He was just being weird. He was being weird, but does it warrant what people are trying to do to him? No. But at the end of the day, society still held him accountable. Even people that were close to him still held him accountable. You got Epstein. I mean, the list goes on. The list goes on. The crazy thing is, the fact that she says nobody's even held accountable, are we going to forget about Chris Hansen? Are we going to act like we don't have guys who are sitting over here creating their own little shows to sit over here and catch people who are online trying to talk to younger people? Men are held accountable every single day. But as stated before, you will have women like this who will push false narratives and will lie just so they can get some clicking views and just so they can show the hatred that they have for a certain group of people. So let's go ahead and read some of these comments. Someone says, maturing is realizing that the mothers are the main ones letting it happen. Yes, I can definitely agree with that, because the women who were telling me, hey, well, hey, I get it, I'm 16, but I want to date this dude named Johnny who's 23 years of age. That's my prerogative. A lot of them were mother driven. A lot of them were always around the mother, single mother rather. But once again, nobody want to acknowledge that. We just only going to hold men accountable as if these people don't know what they're doing. Then somebody else says it's both. But y'all try to make it one-sided. It's both. Then somebody else says, what if she lies about her age? You get that all the time in the club. That's mainly where you will see it at. These women jump in clubs, a 21 and up club, but then, hey, guess what? Oh, well, hey, dude, how you doing? I want to go back home with you, yada, yada, yada. Something happens. We hold the man accountable for it, even though the woman lied because the shoes were reversed. We would always be saying, oh, the man lied. Mighty crazy. Then somebody else says, them be y'all boyfriends. Then somebody else says, they want a child to stay in a child's place, but they keep letting adults in. Then somebody else says, when I was a kid, the girls my age loved telling me they didn't date teenagers. There is blame on both sides. Those girls were actively seeking older men. So then somebody else says, it's like when a male relative comes over and the little girl is told to change what she's wearing. If I have to change every time this one person is around, stop inviting them over. Or just once again, if you walking around with some booty shorts and a tank top and your uncles come over, you are a girl. There's going to be different rules. You're a girl. You need to put some clothes on. But these are just one of your situations where they always trying to change reality instead of looking at reality for what it is and just making a change themselves. But this is the accountability that we always talk about. A lot of your women lack here in America. They prove your point every day. They prove the point in the comments. They've been proving the points here the whole time. So look, y'all guys, let me know down below. What do y'all think? I definitely think this is, well, it's not a thing. I know this is just a woman pushing false narratives online because she just needs some content, needs some views. But do me a huge favor, leave me a like, leave me a comment, subscribe to the channel.